Yes guys, before we get into the video, I just want to say a massive thank you to the guys over at the Anfield Wrap. I went over there the other day, they showed me around the offices, they showed me around the studio, and they even invited me to be on one of their shows. So if you've not seen it already, make sure you get over to the Anfield Wrap and watch their midweek extra show where you can see yours truly featured on there. Right, let's get into the video. Yes guys, welcome back to Cop Noise TV, where today we are looking at the big match build-up between Liverpool and Brighton in the FA Cup 4th round. Now, when this was drawn, I remember sat and I just thought, tricky tie for Liverpool that. However, feeling a little bit different about it at the moment, and I'll get into that in a minute, why I'm a little bit cocky, a little bit confident, shall I say. So let's have a look at Brighton first. While we know league form, you can kind of throw it out of the window given that this is a cup tie, it's worth pointing out that Brighton have only won one game out of their last 12 in the league, which is leaving them in 14th in the table at the moment. They are, excuse me, I wouldn't say a little bit of a sinking stone at the moment, but they're definitely on a downward trajectory. Whilst looking at the table, I noticed something a little bit unique in Brighton's stats, and that's the fact that they're on 0 goal difference. They're basically on goal difference neutral. And given that they're 3/4 of the way down the league, there was a little bit of a weird stat really. So they obviously score as much as they concede, or concede as much as they score, however way you want to look at it. Which led me to start looking into how Brighton do score. And when I was looking at this, this is an area of the pitch where Brighton quite clearly are struggling at the moment because they just don't score goals. So their top goal scorer in the Premier League this season is Danny Welbeck on 8 goals. Now it's worth pointing out, Danny Welbeck does not start every game for Brighton. Danny Welbeck, I dare say, is maybe 34, 35, 36 now. I don't actually know off the top of my head, but he's around that age. So he's no spring chicken, although he's playing decent, he's doing alright. But yeah, he's not spring chicken. He doesn't start all that many games for Brighton, so he's played 26 and he's scored 8 goals. He's Brighton's top goal scorer this season. After that, Paul Van Hecker, who's on 3 goals. He's a defender. Diego Gomez on 3 goals. He's a midfielder. And then you've got Yassin Ayari, who's also a midfielder, and he's also on 3 goals. So you're thinking to yourself, or I was thinking especially, like, where are all Brighton's attacking threats, given that if you take Danny Welbeck out of the situation, you know, where are they all? So Jorginho Rutter, who pretty much starts every single week for Brighton, striker, he's got 2 this season in the league. Yakuba Minter, he's got 1. And Karen Matoma, who I think we were all kind of cooing over a little bit last season. He was unbelievable last year. He's got 2 goals this season. So you can clearly see there that Brighton's goal threat, if Liverpool do their job defensively, it nullifies Brighton altogether because they don't score that many anyway. So if Liverpool do their job in defence, you'd like to think that we have more than enough attacking talent on the pitch to get through this game. So let's have a look at Liverpool. So Liverpool coming off the back of a hard-fought away win up in Sunderland, where it was absolutely tanking it down that night, and Liverpool did an absolute sterling job, came away with the 3 points. So you'd like to think that after a victory like that, the spirits are high in the Liverpool camp. Especially as well, given the fact that both Man United and Chelsea dropped points, putting us right back in the mix for those Champions League spots. And before the week started, I said that I felt this was a season-defining week for the manager. He came under a little bit of criticism, and listen, if Liverpool lose, the manager's always in the firing line. Given how poor our form was earlier on in the season, it seems that we are always 1 defeat away from a lot of the fan base. Well, I say a lot. Some of the fan base, let's say, wanting the manager's head. Now, whether you're one of those fans or not, as I say, I felt this was a season-defining week. And listen, Arne Slot's done himself. Well, he's done himself a credit by the fact that he's been able to go away to a tricky away ground where, let's make it clear, no other team has been able to go up there and take 3 points from. So the fact that he took his team to the Stadium of Light, came away with the 3 points, he should be full of confidence and bouncing into this game at the weekend. Now, it's a late kickoff again on a Saturday night, which me personally, for logistics reasons, I don't like, but it's not all about me, is it? It's at Anfield, it's under the lights, so that gives a lot of people a good excuse to hit the pubs early, get a little bit liquidated, shall we say, and get in good spirits. And when that happens, you tend to find that builds for a better atmosphere inside the ground, because for those who are lucky enough to get to Anfield this season, you will have seen, or you will have noticed, or you will have heard that the atmosphere hasn't been that good this season, and that's probably a reflection on the style of play. You know, that some of the poor performances that the team have shown. But we had a late kickoff quite recently against Newcastle in the league, and I feel that was one of the better atmospheres that we found or we created inside the ground. So hopefully, given the fact that this is a late kickoff, 8 o'clock under the lights, it might be a good atmosphere, and it might spur the team on to victory. Now, talking about victory and how Liverpool achieved that, for me, it's pretty much rinse and repeat of the home fixture in the league earlier on in the season. And what I mean by that is the fact that Brighton play a style of football where they always want to play out from the back, regardless of how high, fast Liverpool will press. Their main aim will be to play out from the back, which means that they will always give you chances because they've got good players, but they're not world-class players. Some of them are not good enough to play that style of football. And that was proven in the fixture at home in the league. I think it was the first goal we scored after like 30, 40 seconds where I think the goalkeeper is either rushed to kick the ball out or the defender clears the ball. Joe Gomez heads it to Szoboszlai, I think. Szoboszlai slips in a Ekitike. Liverpool 1-0 up. And that all came from Brighton trying to play out. Liverpool pressing high, pressing early, and gaining an advantage. And we went on to I can't remember what the score was, but it was an easy victory in the end. So for me, it's let's do exactly the same, because Brighton will play that model. They will play that philosophy of trying to play out from the back at all attempts. So Liverpool just need to stay patient, bide the time, press high, and they will create unforced errors, which will hopefully lead to goal scoring opportunities. Now, when looking at squad selection for Liverpool, obviously we've got fresh injury concerns. The fact that Wataru Endo looks like he's got a season-ending injury. We don't know the severity of it yet. I've not seen anything, but it didn't look a good one. And credit to the fucking guy for getting up and actually wanting to defend a corner. I mean, he had to get stretchered off. There was oxygen involved and all sorts. So fair play to Wataru Endo. Get well soon, mate, because you are a true warrior. On a more positive note, Joe Gomez is back for selection. He played obviously a part up at the Stadium of Light, so I suspect that Joe Gomez, well, I hope Joe Gomez has not got any fresh injury concerns, because we are lacking in numbers at the back, let me tell you. And another positive, when looking at injuries, Liverpool have released pictures today of none other than Alexander Isak in the AXA, continuing his rehab. So as much as, yes, I know he's not going to be up for selection this weekend, it's positive that he's back at the training ground, he's back amongst the guys, he's continuing his rehab. I saw him with pictures with a ball, so the fact that he's doing little bits with a football as well tells you that hopefully Isak is not a million miles away, and it won't be that long before we see him putting on the red shirt once again. With that being said, let's have a look, or let's get into what I think Arne Slot will do in terms of a starting 11. So for me this weekend, I want Liverpool to play their strongest squad possible. As much as I love to see the manager get a little bit of the academy graduates in there, so the likes of Rio and Gamoa and Trey Ione, who are always on the fringes of the first team, well, they're always on the bench pretty much every match day squad. This is a chance at silverware. We're not going to win the league. We could win the Champions League, but it's going to be a tough ask. The FA Cup is a chance for Liverpool, for the manager, to get their hands on some silverware and basically turn what has been a bit of a shit season so far into a good season. So for me, the manager needs to go strong with this team selection, and I think he will. And here is what I think Arne Slot will do in terms of a team selection. So, in goal, you've got Alisson Becker. At right back, excuse me, I think Joe Gomez will come straight into the side, given the fact that we don't have a fit, a ready available right back in Jeremy Frimpong or Conor Bradley. So I think Joe Gomez will play there. Centre backs will be Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahimo Konate, which I want to give a special shout out to Konate as well, because since he has come back from his compassionate leave, he's been immense, and I've been one of his critics this season, and I think it's been warranted. He's not had a good season, or should I say probably first half of the season. Since he's been back and available for selection for the Reds, he's been an absolutely immense. And if he can continue this form, who knows, maybe we can convince him to sign a new contract. Let's see. At left back, I think Milos Kerkez will come back into the side, given the fact that Andy Robertson started against Sunderland. Although I have to say Andy Robertson had a cracking game. I thought he was really good going forward. So shout out to Andy Robber. Midfield, I'm going for one change. I'm going Ryan Gravenberch. Well, sorry, two changes. I'm going Ryan Gravenberch. I think Dominic Szoboszlai will come back into the midfield following his one-match suspension. And I hope that Curtis Jones gets a start. I think he deserves a start. He hasn't had a start now in the last 6 or 7 or something like that he's been available for. He's done nothing wrong in my eyes. And every time Curtis Jones comes onto the field, he puts in a solid 7 or 8 out of 10 performance. So for me, Curtis Jones needs a start. And if he doesn't start this game, my concerns about Curtis Jones' future at Liverpool are going to grow bigger, because I already have concerns about something's not right there. The fact that his game time, or lack of it, since Christmas has dropped off the edge of a cliff. So let's look out for that one, because obviously there was the rumours that he'd fall out with the manager. There was rumours linking him away to Inter Milan in January. So let's just keep an eye on that one, because Curtis deserves a start, and yeah, I want to see him start. And then the front three, if you want to call it that, I'm going for Mohamed Salah, who needs to put in a goal-scoring performance. He's due a goal, He's due a goal. He needs a goal, and I think he might get one. I think he might. Hugo Ekitike, and the guy that I just cannot say enough good things about. I fucking love this guy so much. It's Florian Wirtz. Oh my god, this guy is just amazing. I love watching this guy play football. He is unbelievable, and the fact that he wears the red of Liverpool makes me smile. Right, with that being said, guys, let me know in the comments what makes you smile and what you think Arne Slot might do in terms of a starting 11 prediction. Do you agree with me, or do you think something different? In terms of a score prediction, I think Liverpool win this comfortably, and I'm going for a 3-0 win. And I'm going for Hugo Ekitike brace and a Mohamed Salah goal as well. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you haven't done, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out, and it saves you guys missing out on any of my future content. Right, catch you in a bit.